Well, one last serious question here. We've just gotten all serious. The Final Four, a.k.a. take LeVelle Moton to have a cup of coffee weekend. With it not happening, some people might not know this. Like, not only is it basketball, that's like a big networking
convention
weekend for college coaches.
Yeah. And, it's I always take the time to, anyone that emails me throughout the year, coach, I'm interested. I'm an AAU coach, I'm a middle school coach, I'm a high school coach looking to break into the business. I always tell them if they can meet me at the Final Four. And I have a group of individuals that I try to mentor and help along the way because somebody once helped me. I was a middle school basketball coach, for that was the inception of my career for people who don't know. So I always try to use that time to help others. And so the Final Four is just really a convention or like a big teacher work day. Right. And where all of the head coaches are down there, we're networking, we're establishing different rules and regulations, voting on this committee, this bylaw, XYZ. And that's now gone. And, people don't know what to do with themselves because, it's been established for so long. So, we're just sitting here in disarray, and it's difficult. Obviously, to say the least. We all have cabin fever. We all still have to run our programs. Our recruiting has been affected because we can't go out on the road. And if we do go out on the road, we're not seeing anyone because their events have been canceled too. So just the evaluation of a player now, I honestly think this 2021 class will have triple the amount of transfers because these guys will be poorly evaluated and poorly assessed on both ends, from their end and our end, and someone will be unhappy. It's almost like dating a girl off a profile picture. Right, that you don't even say, okay, yeah, we gonna start dating, and all you've seen is her profile picture. You haven't spent any physical time with her. She haven't seen you. You haven't seen her. You haven't spent time together. You're just making the commitment off of social media, and that's what we got to kind of resort to now, as coaches. So, it's really weird, man. And I just hope as a country we can all get through this and everyone go back to their fundamental aspects of their lives.
Can you tell if a kid has some dog in them just on tape, or do you have to see that?
Yeah, that's one of them things that heart is immeasurable, right? You can't. And these kids are slick now. They will catfish you, right? They'll put they will put a highlight package together and put your favorite song to it, and before you know it, you bobbing your head to the song. You're like, okay, this kid nice, and then you realize he got free throws on his highlight tape. You know what I'm saying? Like who does that? But no, it's really difficult, and that's the thing where you have to really thoroughly evaluate these kids, and the only way you can find out if they really have that dog in them and have the toughness and the things that your program is about and everything that you want them to encompass is being the front row and seeing them during adverse times. We got this quote that says adversity introduces a man to himself. So when things are not going their way, you'll see how they respond. Highlight tapes are just that. The highlights. I need to see the lowlights to really evaluate who am I getting, because I need you to have the same consistent attitude and effort regardless of the circumstances.
You guys had a really cool piece that ESPN did on you. Was it Myron Metcalf? Is that?
Yeah, Myron. Shout out to Myron. Good guy. Good brother, man.
So Myron rode with you guys and got to see what life is like on the HBCU circuit. The bus. You got to make that money in December before you conference play. Here's something I've always wondered. Let's say I won Powerball this week, and I just said, look, LeVelle, we're going to put millions into the program, man. Whatever you need, we're going to, help you, legally. We're not going out and paying, dad, right, mama and them, but, doing things the right way. How much of a difference could, if you were just able to hit the maximum potential for fundraising, how much of a difference would that change life for you at North Carolina Central?
Oh my goodness, man. We have a nice gym, but we have 2 basketball goals, Tyler. 2, right? So right now, we need a practice facility because now you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And you see we just got our locker room done. So I went out and played a game against Louisiana Tech, and, they just agreed. I said, listen, I don't want the money to go into our program. Just pay for our locker room, because I think that was valued at $80,000 or something like that. So, you just have to be creative. But it changes life for you, man, because nowadays it's not the college that we entered. Like, these kids have training tables now, right? So just in order to maintain an advantage, they're eating at 9, 10 o'clock at night when the calf closes, and these meals are being sponsored by the athletics department, right? And all of those things have money. I went to a Division I school, a Power 5 school, and I found out they have a chef that come in every night at 9 o'clock. So, and just sit down in the bottom of all the kids stay in the same dorm, and he prepares meals for every single one of the kids at from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. And so just think, as a college student, how much that would have enhanced their life. You follow what I'm saying? So now you're eating these healthy meals. You're getting all this necessary supplements and vitamins and all of these things. And now you're getting bigger, faster, and stronger, so you can go out and compete at a highest level, and now you couple that with, money and finances and practice facilities and, locker rooms and additional pairs of shoes, additional gear. It goes back to the Deion Sanders, when you look good, you play good, that whole thing, man. So, and these kids are really big on that. So, money. That's what D1 basketball, that's what Division I football, that's what D1 athletics is all about. That's why the NCAA didn't want to really cancel this event. They were trying to find a way, because their money is insured, and it's a $1 billion industry, man. And so we just want to try to keep up with the Joneses and be able to compete on an honest level.
You are good friends with PJ Tucker, who is a fellow Enloe Eagle like ourselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They were doing like ultimate small ball with him playing center. Is PJ any taller than you? You're about 6'.
No, I don't think, man. I think PJ is 6'4" at the most. I'm just gonna give him 6'4", and he's been 6'4" since he was in 8th grade. Right. So that's one kid that's been that same. We thought he was gonna be 7 feet when he was in 8th grade. Like, boy, you growing. He's been the exact same size since 8th grade, and we always laugh about it, man. But again, what you can never measure is the heart. Right. And he come from some different circumstances. We were all pretty much raised by the same guy at the Boys Club and Ron Williams, and, the values and the competitiveness and the toughness that he instilled in us. Like, that's what's getting him over. So I think that's why they were able to play small ball, because they believed and had the confidence in PJ to guard 6'9" and 6'10" centers such as Anthony Davis at 6'4" in the NBA.
What, just as a coach and somebody who, obviously knows the X's and O's, did you think that had long-term, the long-term prospects of that working, or did you think that was like, man, I don't know about that?
No, just like anything that's a fad and that's trending, it's like a hot song, and you're like, okay, this is good. It's auto-tune, right? It sounds good, it's cute. But that's not the formula for winning the NBA championship right now. It looks good and it's cute, and then, people gravitate to it. But eventually, genetics is going to take over. And at 6'4", I love PJ, but, it's going to be difficult to stop a 6'10" or a 6'11" Anthony Davis in the post consistently.
Can you take credit for any development on his jump shot? Because that came to be a pretty good stroke for him over time.
I would like to, man. When I told him he had to transform his game, and, we got in the gym and we worked out. We did a lot of things, man. This one I was really heavy into training NBA basketball players. And, I remember he made the move, and I said, listen, man, you gotta grow, you gotta expand, you gotta add something different to your game. And so we went in the gym one day, and I said, listen, you're playing with James Harden. James Harden has dribbled a basketball more than any NBA player in the history of the game. So he's not going to throw it to you unless he don't have a shot. So what you're going to do, you're going to go over here behind this 3-point line, and we're just going to shoot 400 jump shots from this corner, 400 jump shots from that corner, and 400 jump shots from each wing. And that was PJ's workout. There's no need to go into the gym working on step backs and spin moves and crossovers, because you're not going to have the ball in your hands. And he accepted that, man. And I think he's really been able to expand his career maybe 3 or 4 years because he accepted that role.
Yeah, for sure. I knew Chris Paul from high school and his family. I've heard him mention you a couple of times. He's worn some Eagle gear. When did you first meet him? How did you guys become friends?
Man, you know what, man? This is crazy. I met Chris when Chris was probably 5, 6 years old. How old was Chris? Chris and CJ was probably 5 and 6 years old when I met him. My best friend at the time was Jerry Stackhouse, and Jerry and I was in high school, and Jerry dated a young lady that used to babysit them. So when Jerry used to go to see her, and she's babysitting Chris and CJ, right? And these dudes are like really, like Jerry was in high school. We were in high school, so I'm imagining Chris is 34, I'm 45, and so they might have been 7, 8 years old, him and CJ. And so that's when I first met Chris. It was the craziest thing. And then over the years, we've had a mutual respect, and, we blossomed into it. And I trained him a couple of times, and, then I had some kids that I sent to play for his AAU organization. His mom and dad are incredible people, man. Incredible. CJ's incredible. And they've always been supportive. And, we just maintain and sustain that relationship throughout the years.
Wasn't it crazy last year that people thought like he was washed? I was like, what are you?
Yeah, because he was playing with James Harden and he didn't get the ball. Everybody, I love James, but man, look, if you're a player, like it's hard to be out there with James, and then injuries kind of decimated his career a little bit. And I think he needed that change, right? He's an outstanding leader, and he needs his own team, right? And I just didn't know. I thought the Rockets would have advanced in the playoffs when he before he got hurt in Game 6 or whatever. I thought they were really playing great basketball. But at the end of the day, I just think he needed his own team, and needed some young guys to mold and listen to him and lead the right way. And what he did with OKC prior to this coronavirus was incredible.
Yeah, I thought he would have just wanted to get out of there, but then he stayed, and man, had a heck of a season going.
Heck of a year, man. Heck of a year.
Wow. Well, LeVelle, it's always been fun, man. What are you going to do until you can get back out, man? What are you going to do?
Man, I'm gonna follow the orders of the governor and the city, and just go home and quarantine and try to have some discipline and not eat these kids' snacks. And then on Monday, I'm gonna start doing what you're doing, man, and taking better care of myself and get a chance and get out and start running and exercising and staying healthy, so I can live long and strong for these kids one day, man.
Man, I was thinking, and we talked about it earlier. We've known each other since we were probably like 12. We are closer to 50.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
40. I mean, 40 is old.
God almighty. Good gracious alive, man. Good gracious, man. That's crazy. Remember when we were young, we thought if somebody said they were 30, we'd be like, 30? Gracious, you old. And so now we're approaching, we on the back end of our 40s. But you know what? I put it all in perspective because my wife always tells me this. Is one alternative. Like, you ain't got to get older. It's one alternative to not get older, and we don't want that one. So, I'd rather continue to calculate these birthdays, man, and add them up, man. And it's been a blessing and an enjoy to make the most of our situations in our lives.
All right. He's my guy, LeVelle Moton, head coach, North Carolina Central University. You've been watching HBCU Conversations here on HBCU Game Day.